What's up, everybody? This is the men's 30 plus race at Kenosha Training Crits. This race started with about 10 guys, and as the whistle blew, I asked the rider next to me if he felt like attacking from the gun. He said he was down, so I immediately lit it up with a pretty hard attack, and then I continued down the first long straightaway with the tailwind. The rider I asked to go with me comes around after almost the first hole straightaway and seems to slow down a bit through the corner. As we're going through the corner, I took a chance to look back and I saw that the field had almost completely exploded. And aside from this rider and myself, there were only two others trying to bridge up to us. I knew that if we were to slow down now, that would give the pack a chance to rest and come back together, so I start to put down another hard effort. Into this second long straightaway, there was a pretty strong headwind. For this first lap break effort, I felt like if I just rode 10 to 15% above the threshold here, I would be okay and we would still be able to improve the gap. As we come around the last corner into the finishing straight, my teammate Sean pulls around me to take a pull. I notice that at this point it's the two of us and then the rider that initiated the breakaway with me. As Sean pulls in front, I give him a little bit of a gap to try and get the other rider to have to work. If he does, great, then I'm wearing him out a little bit more. And if he doesn't, then I'm letting Sean ride off and he gets to win solo. Sean is slowly pulling away, and I'm keeping the pace up just enough so that we can stay away in our own break. But the other rider finally decides to bridge up to Sean, and I just sit on his wheel in the draft for the free ride. We bridge up to Sean, and our breakaway is three riders again. We continue to pull through, and Sean gets into the draft on my wheel to rest for a little bit. I know that I want to attack this other rider again and see if Sean can come with me, and then we can get away by ourselves. So I'm just waiting for a good opportunity. Out of this corner, we're hit with a slight crosswind, and I know that this guy is looking to get off the front before the headwind. As he moves to the left to have me pull through, I decide that this is the best time to attack, and I launch through the corner and into the headwind. I manage to peek through my arm and see that Sean is coming with, but he's a little bit gapped, and the other rider that we were with has dropped off. I keep my pace up through the headwind section, and Sean manages to catch on. Now it's just the two of us firmly established off the front. Sean and I rotated like this for the majority of the race, with him taking the finishing straight and the tailwind section, and myself taking the back and headwind sections. I knew that my fitness was a little bit higher than Sean's, so I was okay with taking the headwinds, and I made sure to monitor my efforts in the wind so that I was riding just at or above threshold, so I wasn't overexerting myself. With about 2 laps to go, I can see the other chase group in front of us. This is the first time that I've ever managed to lap a field in a race. I was super stoked, but I was also really tempted to sprint up to them just because they were there. I stayed consistent, and we catch them before the end of this lap. At this point, Sean continues to rotate through, and I tell him that we don't have to push the pace anymore. He laughed a bit and keeps his pace steady, but eases up a little bit. With 1 lap to go, I know it's just Sean and I competing for first and second. He keeps taking his pull in the tailwind section, and I plan to stay on his wheel instead of pulling through for the headwind. I know that he'll plan on launching his sprint at some point as we exit that last corner, so I'm just waiting to jump off his wheel. Sean attacks a little bit earlier than I thought he would, but I'm able to respond, and I just sit on his wheel and wait for where I want to start my sprint. We come through the corner, and shortly after I jump and pass him, and I tell him nice job, and I'm celebrating our podium spots. Overall, I was super happy with how the race went. I felt very strong, and I thought Sean and I played the initial breakaway very well. We both rode well together, and I was happy to have a teammate and myself take the top 2 spots of the podium. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more from me, go ahead and click subscribe. I'll see you next time.